Okay, folks, I had to redo the white birch and gray birch comparison because apparently I wasn't recording. So, I haven't had a tree fall on me. I had a branch come down, hit me in the nose, so I got a discolored spot on my nose and it's a little bit swollen. And I had a branch come across my lip and one of those little broken off twigs got me right in the lip. But I wore safety glasses. I'm very careful. But again, those gray birch, hauling the gray birch will trip you up. Even when you're hauling them from behind by your hand, they're gnarly. I've been told that they're just a gnarly tree to deal with, and they are. The branch comes out like this, and there could be more that come out this way, and they're just twisting and turning every which way, and they're bushy, and they're pretty hard to handle. So I wear eye goggles when I deal with brush. I do, and gloves. Okay, this is for Gathering Basket Homestead, who asked, I think it was, is there a difference between the white birch and the gray birch, or are they the same thing, if memory serves me? So this here is a white birch, and it's got quite a bend in it. They're easy to handle. Versus this is a gray birch here, and I'll put a picture side by side. Even though this is a much smaller tree, the gray birch typically do not get as big. They don't get as tall, and they don't live as long. So this one here, as you can see, has a few crooks in it. Now way up there, well, that juniper, that tamarack is in the way, but the branches on a gray birch are miserable to deal with because they're quite a bit shorter, and they branch and crook out all over the place. So you think you've got one end of a branch, and then you've got a side shoot just as long that's trying to poke your eyes out. So, not a good comparison, but I'm just in the yard. So a white birch can get as tall as 60 to 80 feet. The gray birch usually, if my memory serves me correctly, 30 to 40 feet. They don't get as big. They're not as resilient. They are far from resilient. If we get heavy snow or ice, freezing rain, they bend over. They typically do not bend back up, where a birch is more pliable, I guess you would say, that if it bends over, which very seldom do the white birch bend over, it's usually the gray birch, but the white birch will try to stand up to where it once was. So there is that. And another way to tell, other than the bark, is when they are leaved out. Of course, they're not leaved out right now, but when they are leaved out, there is a difference in the leaf. So the tree looks different, the bark looks different, the branches are definitely different, and the leaves are definitely different. So I'll draw a picture in the driveway of the leaves for you. A white birch leaf is basically, it's more oval, round, and this is where it comes from, the tree, the branch. And it will have a short, little pointy part to the front of the leaf. So the birch is oval to round, versus the gray birch, which comes down, it's thinner, and it's got a long, pointy spot. So gray birch leaves are smaller, they are thinner, not as wide, and they've got a real pointy part on the end. And the birch, the white birch, is more oval and the point isn't so prominent. Now, where I know personally, you can tap white birch trees for the birch sap. It's very, very good to drink. The leaves are very medicinal on at least the white birch and the gray birch. You can kind of infuse the leaves, and it's anti-inflammatory. It's really good for pain, according to my twin sister. She has made some birch medicine, and she's used it on, she's got bad knees too, and she's rubbed it on her knees, and she said it takes longer to deal with the pain, but it lasts longer for a pain relief. So, if it works for her, it'll probably work for me, since we have the same body makeup. So all my life, I have been told that white birch sap is good to drink, and the gray birch sap is not good to drink. Now, as an adult, I'm wondering if the gray birch sap is just not good for you to drink, or if it just doesn't taste as good. I don't know. When you look up birch sap, even if you Google, is gray birch sap safe to drink? It comes up with birch. It doesn't say gray birch in my research. So I'm going on what I've been told all my life. Tap the white birch trees only. And again, I don't know if it's because the white birch sap tastes better, or if the white birch is better for you. If the gray birch sap doesn't taste as good, or if it's kind of toxic to the body. I don't know, folks. You're going to have to do your own research if you're interested in that. I know for me, I tap white birch trees to drink the birch water. If you've never tried it, it's really good, folks. It has this, it's not overly sweet. It's kind of like you have a hitness of sweet, and it's kind of a nutty taste. It's clear liquid, and you can drink it right from the tree, just like you can maple sap. Now, maple sap, the maple syrup season, the tapping season, comes first. And as that's winding down and the first warmer days start hitting here, the white birch trees start dripping, and they will drip as good as any good maple tree will drip. Just like you can drink the maple sap from the tree, you can drink the white birch sap from the tree. Now, as far as you can make white birch syrup, the sugar content isn't that of the maple syrup. It's a whole lot less. And the white birch sap doesn't keep as long as the maple sap before you have to boil it down. The white birch sap will go rancid really, really fast. So you collect it one day and you boil it down the next, or you collect the white birch sap and you can jar it up, filter it, because you're going to have pieces of bark and maybe some bugs, who knows. That's going to come into your gathering pail, I guess. Milk jugs, water jugs, hanging from whatever you use to collect your your sap in. And then you want to filter that just like you do maple syrup or the maple sap. And you can boil it down. It's going to take more to boil down than it would maple syrup because it doesn't have that much sugar in it compared to maple sap does. Okay, so the white birch sap takes a lot more of it to get a little bit of a syrup, and it's going to be a lot darker. It's going to turn about the color of real dark amber color to almost like molasses color when it's boiled down into the syrup. So if you have ever had birch water, you can buy birch water in stores, and you can buy birch soda in stores, up here anyway. So if you don't know if you like that, maybe you can go into a store and buy a bottle of it to try, or you can just put a spile in a white birch tree, collect the sap, and try it fresh. It's really good fresh, folks. And then if you like it, you can try to boil some down for birch syrup. Now for me, I find it very refreshing to jar up maple sap and birch sap in their season, put it into pint jars, run it through the hot water bath 10, 12, 15 minutes. Basically, as long as you would if you were to can water. And then once it's sealed, you can put it right up on the shelf, open up a jar in midsummer on a hot day. It's going to be really, really refreshing, folks. So that's all I've got for you today. Bye, folks.